What's going on, housemates? Marcelo here, and I am recording this video after Arsenal's 2-1 win in the North London derby against Tottenham at the Emirates, securing yet another league double over Spurs. It's always sweeter when we beat Spurs, obviously, but to do the double is extra special. It wasn't a pretty game, and I think, most of us expected it to be on the uglier side, given a number of factors, but it doesn't matter. It's a huge 3 points. The first thing I think about, of course, and I think I mentioned it in yesterday's video, is the fact that Liverpool has now drawn 4 times in the last month. For the first 3 of those draws, we also drew, and we weren't able to, make up any ground in terms of the gap at the top of the table. But after Liverpool drew away at Nottingham Forest yesterday, we finally stepped up and won in response, and it's huge, and it does inject some hope back into our title chances. I know I've gone back and forth a little bit in terms of how much belief I have in our chances of winning the league. I've never truly deep down felt that it's completely over, but this really helps a lot, man. And another thing I think we have to talk about is just it's an impressive win considering the fatigue in this squad, right? We're looking at a lack of depth due to injuries, first of all, and squad depth, that looked like it could become an issue from the beginning of the season, really. And I guess Arteta and the board both have a bit of blame for that. But still, I'm not pointing fingers. And at the end of the day, we played 120 minutes against United only 3 days ago. So for the team, which was basically the same team as the United team, to step up and get this win is so crucial. And it was more of the same, really, from Arsenal. It felt like, you could almost have guessed how this game would go, at least in the beginning, right? The first 20, 25 minutes, we were all over Spurs. We were so dominant. We actually looked pretty fluid, and we were playing some more fast-paced football than we've seen from us as of late. And we should have scored. But again, same old story. We just lacked that cutting edge, that clinical bit right at the end, the final pass and the final, shot, the finish just wasn't there. Raheem Sterling could have scored in the opening minute of the game, or opening 2 minutes. Miles Lewis-Skelly played a great ball. Anyways, I won't harp on too many small details right now, but in classic fashion, football is a game of chances. I've said this so many times. Spurs made us pay for not getting something out of that dominant opening 20 minutes. It was a bizarre goal, really, because we had so many men in the box, but Heung-min Son is somehow all by himself at the top of the box, and a cleared header falls to him, and he, finishes, obviously, with the huge aid of a deflection off Saliba. And it was a gut punch, and it was like, here we go again. I guess we got to do it, come back from behind. And, thankfully we did it. And it came through Gabriel. Obviously it wasn't his goal in the end, but it was a perfect cross from Declan Rice on the corner kick. Gabriel made the back post run, got something on it. It came off Solanke in the end. But, Gabriel is just our fearless leader. He's really the captain without the armband. I think he's a generational player. You don't see center backs scoring goals for fun, but also being an absolute beast defensively. I don't remember. I think it was 0. Yeah, it was still 0-0 before Son scored. Jed Spence played a great cross in, and Gabriel had to make the perfect intervention. He got a touch on it to send it out for a corner where it could have easily been an own goal. And if he didn't get that touch, Solanke taps that in, I think, for a goal. So that, Gabriel is just so immense, man. I don't have enough words for how special of a player he is and how lucky we are to have him. And it's just so fitting because he really was, I think, the beginning of the project, right? He joined us when we were still in the very, very early stages of Mikel Arteta's managerial career. Before the vision was there, he saw it. And he's such a special player, man. Anyways, we equalize, and then we go ahead shortly after. Leandro Trossard proved the beauty of shooting. You're not going to score if you don't shoot. And it wasn't a great shot, to be honest with you. I mean, he got good power on it, and it bounced right as it came to Kinski. And I have to say, he should have saved it. It was poor goalkeeping from him. And he had some really nervy moments all night long. But, we took the lead, not too long before halftime, and it was the perfect turnaround given, the fact that we went behind, having been on top of Spurs all game long. And ultimately, though, it was one of those games that just was the Arsenal that we haven't missed watching, where we failed to put a game to bed and we're on the edge of our seats for, much of the second half. Um, we should have won this game by 3 goals, if not four, right? Could have been 5-4, 5-1. And it just begs to show how desperately we need attacking reinforcement. I'm not going to spend too much time focusing on him, but this was another really damning performance from Kai Havertz. I can't sugarcoat it, man. There were a few terrible moments. He had a couple headers. The first one was a lot worse. He has to put that on target and he should probably score. And then there's another one where he really has a free header. I think he was taken aback a bit by the fact that the Spurs defenders contested it. They went up to head it out, but it fell to him and he wasn't ready to place it. But even in terms of, there were a couple moments where he over dribbled, or his pass to Sterling where we could have scored. Sterling, his shot got blocked. Havertz just wasn't sharp enough. And I think the main thing about Havertz is just he's clearly such a confidence player. I've never seen a player who's more dependent on confidence than him. And that's a bad thing because you can't always be in the best of form when you're needed to step up and deliver. And it's just a few games now, where it's become so glaringly obvious that he is a limitation to our full potential. I have to say it. As a rotation option, I think he's a great player to have, but we need to sign a big time striker, someone who's just going to score goals. He does things that go under the radar, right? He drags defenders out of position, he creates lanes, he opens up pockets of space. He's a nuisance. He helps lead our press. He had that one really nice moment in the first half where he had that slide tackle to get caught Kinski, sleeping, but he should have maybe done better to shoot. Anyways, he does a lot of great things, but at the end of the day, we need more goals from our striker. And I don't think that, that's not him. But anyways, I don't want to focus too much on him. Saliba was incredible. Gabriel was incredible. Saliba was also, as always, he was great. But the other player that I have to talk about is Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's a special, special talent. And they don't make him like him anymore. I think that the ability he shows on the ball, his positional awareness, his spatial awareness, his body positioning, the way that he knows how to use his body to let the ball run across him, how to shield himself from defenders, very Moussa Dembele-esque. And he's just so special, man. And to have that level of composure, physicality, tenacity, I have all the superlatives for him right now. But at the age of 18, when you are still in your breakout season, what is now becoming his breakout season, because he was getting bit minutes here and there for the first few months of the season, but given our left back crisis, he's made it his own, and he is our first choice left back. And he's really, I think I might have mentioned it, at least on TikTok I did, he's saving Calafiori from a lot more scrutiny because his fitness is pretty shocking. And Miles Lewis-Skelly is just like, well, here I am anyways. So whether you like it or not, it's mine now. Great, great game, man. Such an important result for us. After 2 straight losses at home, again, despite the fatigue we have, just in general, and after 120 minutes against United, to play on a Wednesday night in such a big game, a North London derby, for us to turn up in a game where we could have won comfortably and we rode out some pressure from Spurs. I'm just really proud of this team, man. And, we're 4 points behind Liverpool. They have a game in hand, of course. But as long as we can stay within 6 points come April or May, anything is possible. If the guys that we've been missing come back fit towards the end of the season, I think, Tomiyasu and Ben White coming back relatively soon is massive. But, in terms of attack as well, Bukayo Saka, I don't expect him to be back till April maybe, and so I don't think we should be relying on him. But Ethan Nwaneri, hopefully he's back relatively soon. We need to sign an attacker, and it's no secret. I think Arteta said after the game, he confirmed that we're going to do everything we can to sign an attacker this month, and we need to. I think it'll be a winger. I would take Mbeumo all day. Semenyo, I don't think Semenyo's going to come because Bournemouth's now pushing for a Champions League place, and they're a brilliant team. Yeah, So Nico Williams would also be a great option. Anyways, this game really has brought me so much life, and it's incredible what a contrast it is to Sunday. At the end of the day, the underlying problem still remains, right? Our lack of finishing. And this was just Spurs. But again, form is irrelevant when you're talking about such a huge derby. And when you think about how tired these players have been. So I'm nothing but proud right now. Maybe we can dive deeper into specifics and shortcomings and blah, blah, blah later on. But right now, the underlying feeling should just be pride for this team and their ability to step up in the way they did. So I'll leave it there for now, and I'll be with you tomorrow for another video. But I hope you enjoyed that game as much as possible because it was a lot. It was pretty stressful in the end, but yeah, man, really gassed about this. I can't lie. So I'll talk to you all soon, and keep an eye out for my TikToks as well. So until next time, come on, you Gunners. Peace, everybody.